and I'd like you to do a field sobriety test.
No!
Just relax. Relax.
Please don't do this to me. Please. I have debilitating anxiety. Please, my mom is coming.
A car moved too quickly through a Cranston, Rhode Island neighborhood one night, then began behaving like a vehicle trying not to be seen, cutting down side streets, sliding into a parking lot, and switching off its headlights, as if darkness might make it disappear. It didn't. A sergeant had already followed it in. By the time he reached the window, the driver wasn't waiting to be asked anything. She was pleading. A panic attack, she told him. Please don't arrest me. The words tumbled out fast and frightened, an apology chasing an apology, before a single question had even been posed. What unspooled from there was not a quick encounter. Over the next stretch of footage, a woman named Catherine would beg, argue, phone her mother and her boyfriend, refuse a sobriety test, and fight an arrest, all while insisting, again and again, that she'd done nothing wrong. It is a hard watch, and it deserves a careful one, because tangled up in the drinking and the defiance is something more human, a person coming apart in real time.
Okay. Step out. Get out of your car.
No.
You get out of the car, the window gets smashed.
No.
Get out of the car.
Officer?
Get out of the car.
For what?
Get out of the car.
For what?
Get out of the car.
No.
Get out of the car.
No.
Do yourself a favor and just get out.
No, please. No, please. I'm sorry, please. I'm very scared. I have debilitating anxiety.
Okay, listen, here's the deal. All right? If you have such anxiety, okay, you're flying down the road, then you try ducking me down some side streets, pulling into a parking lot, and shutting your lights off, pretending I didn't see you.
That wasn't
okay?
what it was. I was pulling off
Then,
the
not
side
to
of the
mention,
road.
you don't have a license.
I do have a
It's
license.
suspended.
No, it's not.
It is.
My license is not suspended.
Okay, I just ran it. The state
My
of
license-
Stop.
As of when?
As of last year.
No, my license is...
Why are we screaming? Why are we screaming?
Because my Jimmy, they're saying my license is suspended as of last year. No, my license, Jimmy.
Can you come get her?
Jimmy, are you listening?
Stop!
No. Jimmy, are you listening to them?
Jimmy, is there any way you can come get her?
Yeah, I can come get her.
Come get her, please.
They're saying, Jimmy, they're saying my license is suspended.
Stop! Why are you screaming?
Jimmy, shut up!
Oof.
They are saying my license is suspended as of...
Her distress read as genuine, and it's worth saying plainly. Anxiety and panic attacks are real, and a person in the grip of one is not simply performing. The trouble was that her fear expressed itself as a torrent of words, confessions, excuses, apologies, that kept surfacing details she'd have been far better off leaving unsaid. She mentioned an unpaid boot, an old obligation, reasons she hadn't wanted to stop. The sergeant, for his part, tried more than once to slow her down. "Why would I arrest you?" he asked, almost puzzled by the pleading.
They're saying my license is suspended as of last
How much
year.
are you having anything to drink tonight? Behind the
I just got off of work.
at a bar.
Where can I come get you?
They just said that my license is suspended as of
Hold on.
last.
Stop talking, Jimmy.
Come get you.
Jimmy.
Then, more bluntly, he urged her to simply stop talking, that every sentence was digging the hole deeper. It was, in its rough way, sound advice, but she couldn't take it. That inability to pause, to breathe, to let the situation settle, would define the entire encounter. Whatever was driving her, the panic she named, the alcohol she hadn't yet admitted, or both braided together, it kept her locked in a spiral, where every attempt to help her landed as another threat to fight off.
Excuse
Stop.
me. No, officer.
You're working your way into jail, okay? I'm gonna tell you that right now. Just stop talking and let me talk to Jimmy.
My license is suspended. Jimmy? Jimmy? No. Jimmy? They said my license is suspended as of last year. I'm calling mommy.
Shut up.
Jim,
I'll be calling mommy.
talk to mommy like that, I'm sure she's gonna hang up on you too.
You know, I was having Jimmy come pick you up, but you hung up on him, so I couldn't even tell him where you're at.
The sergeant laid out what he'd watched. She'd been flying down the road, he said, then tried losing him through side streets before parking and going dark. Hardly the behavior of someone with nothing to hide. Her explanation, that she was scared and being followed, didn't square with a driver who'd been speeding before any lights appeared behind her. Then came the detail that hardened the stop. He'd run her license, and it came back suspended. Had been, he told her, since the previous year. She rejected it outright. Her license was fine, she insisted. It had been reinstated in court. Round and round that disagreement went, her volume rising with each pass, his answer unchanged. The system says suspended.
You don't have a license.
I do have a license.
It's suspended.
No, it's not.
It is.
My license is not suspended.
Okay, I just ran it. The state
My
of
license?
Stop.
As of when?
As of last year.
No, my license is...
Why are we screaming? Why are we screaming?
Because my license... Jimmy, they're saying my license is suspended as of last year. No, my license, Jimmy.
Can you come get her?
Jimmy, are you listening?
Stop!
No. Jimmy, are you listening to them?
Jimmy, is there any way you can come get her?
Yeah, I can come get her.
Come get her, please.
They're saying my license is suspended.
Stop! Why are you screaming?
Jimmy, shut up!
Oof.
They are saying my license is suspended as of...
They just asked me if I could come get you. I can come get you right
Are you listening, Jimmy?
Yes.
They're saying my license is suspended as of last
How much
year.
you have anything to drink tonight?
Or I can come get you.
Behind the
I just got off of work.
at a bar.
Where can I come get you?
They just said that my license is suspended as of
Hold
last.
on. Stop talking, Jimmy.
Come get you.
Jimmy.
Excuse
Stop.
me. No, officer.
You're working your way into jail, okay? I'm gonna tell you that right now. Just stop talking and let me talk to Jimmy.
My license is suspended, Jimmy. Jimmy, no. Jimmy, they said my license is suspended as of last year. I'm calling mommy.
Shut up.
I'll be calling mommy.
If you talk to mommy like that, I'm sure she's gonna hang up on you too.
You know, I was having Jimmy come pick you up, but you hung up on him, so I couldn't even tell him where you're at.
Mommy is head of City Highway.
I don't care what your mommy is. You're
Hi,
not gonna be the
Mommy.
president of the United States.
Hi, mommy. So I'm driving home from work, and these officers are saying that my license has been suspended since last year.
No, that was reinstated when you went to court.
I'm telling you right now, I just ran it. It comes back as suspended.
Yeah, my license comes back as suspended. So I'm sitting right outside of Taco.
No, you're about a mile away.
Taco's right there.
This isn't Taco.
Yep.
Whether she truly believed it was valid or simply couldn't accept the news in that moment is impossible to know. Either way, driving on a suspended license was now stacked onto the pile, and the encounter had shifted from a speeding stop towards something with real legal teeth before the question of alcohol had even fully entered the frame. Reaching for lifelines, she got her boyfriend Jimmy on the phone, and then her mother. The officers were genuinely trying to use those calls constructively. If someone could come collect her, they indicated, this might end with her going home rather than to a cell. That off-ramp was real, and it was offered more than once. She sabotaged it herself. Rather than let Jimmy get directions to her location, she screamed over him, hung up, and dialed again. Her mother's response, weary and pointed, cut through the noise. If you're going to act like that, you're going to end up in trouble. It was the voice of someone who had clearly been here before. That exhaustion in the mother's tone is one of the quietest, saddest notes in the whole recording.
That's Taco. That is Taco.
How much you had to drink tonight?
He's being what's your badge number?
Sergeant DeCosta.
Sergeant DeCosta.
This is all on camera. It's all on camera, the whole thing.
Right.
So that's not really help. It doesn't help in your cause.
Mommy, I didn't do anything wrong.
Where you going?
This was not a parent shocked by a one-off crisis. It was a parent recognizing a familiar storm trying from a mile away to talk a grown daughter down from a ledge she seemed determined to leap off, and being screamed at for the effort. Underneath everything sat the fact she kept circling without confronting. Pressed on how much she'd had, she deflected. She'd been at work all night, she said, and work was a bar. When she climbed out of the car to shout in the sergeant's face, he noted a strong smell of alcohol on her breath, the kind of detail that turns suspicion into probable cause. On that basis, he asked her to perform field sobriety exercises. Her answer was immediate and absolute. No, she would not do them. He warned her, clearly, that refusing meant going to jail. It changed nothing. She repeated her refusal, folding her arms around it like armor.
Sir,
You can read it.
what is your bedroom? No, I can't. I don't have my f***ing glasses. If I can't get out of my car. 408, what's yours? 513.
Actually, you know what?
513, yeah.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
I was at work all night.
Yep, and you work at a bar. When you just step out of the car to scream in my face, I detected a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emanating from your breath.
I'm
So I'm going to ask you to do a field sobriety test.
I'm not doing it.
Then you're going to go to jail.
I'm not
Step
doing
out of the
it.
car.
No, I'm not doing it.
Step out of the car.
Sir, I'm not doing it.
Step out of the car.
No, I'm not doing it. Don't do that to me.
Oh, you did everything to
You
yourself.
walked away. You got out of your car.
There's a common misconception that declining a roadside test is a clever escape hatch. It isn't. An officer who already has speeding, evasion, a suspended license, and the smell of alcohol doesn't need a perfect field sobriety performance to make an arrest. And refusing the test, far from ending the inquiry, simply removed her last chance to talk her way out of one. From here, the stop had only one direction left to travel. Ordered out of the car, she did something almost childlike in its desperation. She scrambled from the driver's seat over to the passenger side, as though putting distance between herself and the door might undo the whole night. "Please don't do this to me," she begged. "This is the rest of my life." The officers gave her repeated last chances, and each one dissolved into another refusal.
Step out of the car.
No, sir.
Step out of the car.
No, sir.
All right, last chance. You're going to jail.
What's she doing?
Just climb in the passenger seat of the car.
No, sir. I'm not doing that. This is excessive.
It's not excessive. We haven't done anything to you yet, except for asking you to get out of the
I
car.
asked you your badge number. You made me come out of the car. I'm not doing this. Please don't do this to me, please. This is the rest of my life. Please don't do this to
You
me.
did this to yourself. Step out of the car.
No, I'm not. My mom and somebody else is coming in here.
When they finally moved to take her into custody, she resisted, and the scene turned into a struggle to get her hands behind her back and lower her safely to the ground.
Please, sir, no.
Get out.
No.
We're not doing this anymore.
No, please.
We're not doing this anymore.
No.
Get out of the car. Not doing this anymore, okay? Damn it. Enough.
I didn't do anything. No.
Just put her on the ground. Put her on the ground.
Through it, she cried out for her mother, the raw, involuntary reflex of someone genuinely terrified, whatever the cause. It is the part of the footage that is hardest to reconcile. On one hand, an adult who drove drunk, fled, and fought a lawful arrest. On the other, a person in what looked like real psychological collapse, screaming for her mom in a parking lot. Both things were true at once, and the law can only act on one of them. The distress didn't erase the danger she'd posed on the road.
Relax. Relax. Listen, relax. 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 Just go down. Just go down.
I didn't do anything.
Just relax. Relax.
Please don't do this to me. Please. I have debilitating anxiety. Please, my mom is coming. My mom is right there. My mom. Please. Please. My mommy is right there.
No, your mommy's not here.
No, my mom is right there. No, please. Please do not.
Listen, do you have anything on you?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Have what on me?
Anything that's gonna hurt us or yourself?
No. Wait. No, please.
Just sit in the car. Just sit in the car.
No, please! Can you please give me my slippers? It's my jewel!
Alright, I got it.
Relax. Relax. We got it.
My jewel charger is on the ground, please! It's
I can't
breaking.
get to it. That pocket's
Can you
full.
please, can somebody fix my socks?
Sit in the car. Sit in the car. Relax.
Please, somebody fix
We'll fix it in a second.
I have humility! I need my Xanax! I need my... Please, somebody fix... Please, please. My mommy is coming. My mommy is coming. My mom.
At the station, an officer read her Rhode Island's implied consent law, the principle that, by driving on the state's roads, a person has already agreed to a chemical test of breath, blood, or urine when lawfully arrested for impaired driving. She refused that as well, and so her actual blood alcohol level was never captured. There is no number attached to this case. That absence raises a fair question. Why didn't the officers simply obtain a warrant for her blood, as happens in many DUI cases? The likely answer is strategic. A warrant takes time and effort, and it's most valuable when a case needs shoring up.
Rhode Island law requires you to submit to a chemical test of your blood, breath, or urine for the purpose of determining the chemical content of your body fluids or breath. You have the right to have an additional chemical test performed at your own expense. You'll be afforded a reasonable opportunity to exercise these rights. Access to a telephone will be made available for you to make those arrangements. Did you want to make a phone call?
I haven't been subject to a field sobriety or an alcohol test. The only reason that it was so is because you asked me to read your badge number to get out of the car. And it felt...
I don't recall me asking you to come...
Here, the record was already overflowing. The speeding, the hiding, the odor, the refusal, the behavior on camera. When a case is that strong on its own, the missing number becomes a luxury, not a necessity. Refusing the test also carries its own price, independent of the DUI. Under implied consent laws, saying no is itself a chargeable offense, often with an automatic license suspension attached. So the refusal she may have imagined as protection instead became one more count against her, and left the only estimate of her impairment to be inferred from how she acted.
You could do a field sobriety test, at which time you decided you wanted to climb from your driver's seat to your passenger seat, and you kept saying, no, you're not going to do it.
The only reason I was outside of the driver's seat was because you made me read your badge number.
I didn't make you do anything, okay?
He said, what's my badge number? And he made me get out of the driver's seat.
Everyone can leave the room. Yep.
I would like to speak
Have
to
a
my
seat.
mother.
Have a seat.
No, I don't like you.
It doesn't matter if you like me or not.
I don't like you.
I am the
want
arresting
my-
officer.
Where
You can make a phone call right here.
Where is my phone?
I have your phone.
Can I have it?
You can make a phone call right
Can
here.
I have it to find my
No.
phone numbers?
In the end, the case resolved without a trial. Catherine entered a no-contest plea to the DUI charge, which stands, for practical purposes, as a conviction, while the refusal and resisting counts were dismissed. Her sentence bundled together the tools courts reach for in a first impaired driving case: a year of probation, a license suspension measured in months, 10 hours of community service, alcohol counseling, and several $100s in fines and court costs. Because she refused testing, no one can state her impairment as a fact. Any figure is an educated guess drawn from her conduct. The slurring, the volatility, the wild swings of emotion, which some observers would place well above the legal threshold. Treat that as an estimate and nothing firmer. The honest truth is her number is simply unknown, and it should be presented that way. Strip the case to its center, and it's a story about the distance between a feeling and a choice. The panic may well have been real, the anxiety too, but panic doesn't put a person behind the wheel after a shift at a bar, and it doesn't turn a manageable stop into a fight. Somewhere underneath the screaming for her mother was a young woman who needed help long before that night, and a mother, a mile away, who already knew it and couldn't stop the storm from a phone. The court's counseling order may be the one piece of this that actually reaches the real problem. One can only hope it does.